Welcome back to the GG.Bet Chicago Invitational. It's time for the possible final map of the day. It is Inferno coming up next, and it's going to be HellRaisers looking strong. They just come out of a Dust 2 win.
Yeah, looked very strong initially. Petered out a little bit towards the second half. They're still enough to close it out, and it wasn't meant to be, not their map pick, not what you would have expected. That's the first win they've had with this lineup on Dust 2 as well. So a lot of things, I guess, going right for HellRaisers. Now we're going to go into Inferno, which, together with Overpass, probably their strongest map. So things are looking pretty solid for them if you're thinking about further playoff spots.
Yeah, indeed. And HellRaisers, they have been a team we've kind of talked about look a little bit shaky in the Invitationals, both Cologne and kind of in this one, a little bit better in the Chicago Invitational, I have to say. But certainly looked like they had turned things around at the start of Dust 2. They were making a lot less mistakes, not really hunting useless kills, and that was really nice to see. I think a couple of times, though, Angel and Issa did throw a little bit of curveballs into the mix.
Yeah, no, they went for some wild ones, and it didn't necessarily pan out, and I think that's why we saw a bit of a closer result towards the end of it. But in the end, when you get to 15 rounds that early, you do just kind of expect it to close out eventually, and that's kind of what happened. It's easy to take your foot off the gas and kind of just assume everything is going to work itself out for you. So HellRaisers, once they got that underway, and once it got a little bit close, they managed to end it all. So I'm still feeling pretty good about their chances on Inferno. I think we saw a really solid map from a lot of individuals as well. Lowell, Issa, I guess outside of the usual suspects, which would have been Oscar. They had great Dust 2 games. That should be a good confidence booster going into Inferno, regardless of what side they end up starting on.
Yeah, because kind of we were talking about, maybe if HellRaisers are starting to struggle, they only have Oscar, right? But the rest of the team seem to have elevated their level. Yeah,
it's really good, and that's what you need if you're HellRaisers. If you want to find consistent results online as well, that's been one of their big downsides actually for a team that's always been, but most pro leagues and most big international events, and obviously the majors as well, they haven't really performed that well online.
Well, straight away, it's Windigo heading towards the B-bomb side. The Angel will be the first man of 4, and will be the man advantage available for Windigo. Lowell taking 1 kill, Bubble able to reply, and again, it's on to Nuka, hiding in the back of the bomb side. He has to have so much impact here, and they're not going to even check his position. A second coming in from Nuka. Can he get a third? Did not know about the player on his left, and so Windigo have the bomb site. But they're not going to be easily planting the bomb anytime soon, that's for sure.
No, they might not even get it down at all. They're just kind of hanging out. Still, Oscar's going to push through. They don't really need to be this aggressive. Bomb's not down, and I mean, there's no way they don't know this. So still going for challenges, but okay, guess it works out. That's a little bit too risky for my taste. Blocker is good enough of a player to win out duels versus both of Oscar and Issa if he's given a 1-by-1 or 1-for-1 situation, and that's really what they give him as well, right? They don't peek together. They're just kind of solo taking these challenges, but in the end, it does work out for HellRaisers. So they got a solid start to their CT side, get weapons out, and Blocker is forced into a UMP of all things.
And here are your odds by GG.Bet. 1.41 for HellRaisers. They are the favorites, and actually closer than I expected, but still
2.74 for Windigo.
HellRaisers.
Yeah. You would expect that to increase as well if they're able to capitalize off of this. The force spike coming in from Windigo. And actually, everyone's going to be a little bit late to the party. Lowell's not expecting this, and well, okay, Nuki goes down immediately as well. That running on Tech 9 is doing a whole lot of work. And, well, I think if we get refreshed odds for the next round, that might be changed up a bit. Angel's going to get at least 1, but it's a 3v1 situation. Issa down to 34 HP. Bomb's going to get planted on the B's bomb site, and there's nothing really he can do. Actually, we might just see Windigo go running for him. They know that they've won this round already. Well, that was a nightmare of a setup from HellRaisers.
Yeah, not a great start from them. Here, they win the pistol, but again, it wasn't exactly a clean pistol win. And then they come right into the next one, and that's where Windigo are waiting for them.
Yeah, Poison with the Tech 9, bringing it back into fashion. It's still very solid run and gun kind of a weapon. Ooh, okay, Ship's going to find us as well.
Crouching around the corner.
Crouching around the corner to victory. So yeah, so much for that solid start on the side of HellRaisers. Everyone just seemed to be kind of slow to react to whatever was happening. They got the sound cue super early on. They had the player in Boiler Room who could have swung out early on. Lowell still gets caught out from Arch side. Oscar as well. Just a heap of mess really on the side of HellRaisers. Not what you expect out of them.
Oh.
Ooh. Yeah, that's
It's not nice to see. I think we've actually maybe disconnected on our side to the server. So there we go. We're back.
Yeah.
It was just a little bit of a hiccup, but we've returned and we're ready to go again.
Ping check.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah, you can see the investment coming in from HellRaisers as well. They know they have to double eco after you're losing pistol. Oscar has been spotted out, still going to go for it. Now you got to dodge bullet like a boss. And nades, for that matter, down to 13 HP. Is going to make it out alive at the very least.
Well, Chips has picked up Oscar. And he'll continue to make his way through top mid. Off towards long. 1 minute and 5 seconds left on the clock. Windigo start to bring a couple of troops this way. Just standing up on top of the balcony. He'll take a lot of damage. Drop to 4 HP. As Lowell will hide in the corner. Windigo. They need to make sure that they don't get upset by that. Of HellRaisers' pistol by here. Get a taste of their own medicine, but Windigo are playing it quite well. They're going to use the numbers advantage and try and come in towards the A-bomb site. Still got flashbangs available, but the utility is already deployed. And these smokes actually create a bit of chaos, cascade the players and shroud them on the CT side, and that's resulting in a kill for Angel. Just running right through. A second coming in as well. Lowell, he's still alive. He's still causing problems, and oh my god, this is actually going to happen. Why is this a thing? The pistol's more successful than that of the rifles, and it's the Mac-10 of Victor just dancing between both players. Eventually, it will pick up Nukia, and Lowell, he wants this win.
How is he on bullets, though? Oh, picks up an AK. Victor down to 9 HP, and still going to win out the 1-1-1 duel. So amazing clutch coming out from the veteran on the Bulgarian side, but it's not easy. It's hectic, it's chaotic, it's all the bad words, really. Before Victor manages to save the situation. Angel running through the smoke there, finding 2 kills is really what sets it off, and Lowell doing a great job of surviving. I think actually why you saw him moving about so much is because he straight up just ran out of bullets on the ZZ. Oh, well. Another force buy from HellRaisers. They're really, really keen on stopping this from Windigo early, but I'm not really sure if I can get on board with this. Like, fair enough. Did a lot of damage to Windigo in the previous round, but still going to be able to get a much better buy than you in this. Let's see, though. Maybe they run into the, a bit of a trap on the side of Windigo here yet again. Did see the early rotation, and the crossfires working out pretty nicely for HellRaisers.
Well, the nade goes in. It does a little bit of damage on a Poison and Victor. And the smoke will go off towards CT cross. Smoke comes back in from the CT side, and will start to rattle shots in towards the B-bomb site. Windigo, they need to get off to a good start. I think that's a win condition for them. If they can't get it going early on Inferno, they're probably just going to get walked over.
Yeah, one thing that bodes well for them is the fact that Ships and Blocker have been able to make it into CT spawn undetected, and the majority of the B defense is going to be ripe for the taking here. Go first kill down. Might not be expecting Lowell around the corner here by the tree.
Yeah, this could be a big problem for Ships. Lowell's just waiting, buying his time. The smoke on his left will begin to fade, and that's a big problem for Lowell at this point because multiple different players, multiple different angles, and they start to push in. There's Lowell with a kill. It won't be one, but traded back by Blocker, and the pistol's coming through. It's all falling apart as Nukia gets 2. The AK picked up. And it's into a 2v2.
Yeah, he shoots it in towards spawn as well. Oh, actually, I'm not sure why he shot it into spawn. I thought teammate would come rotating around for that, but this is still going to rocket Deagle. It does have Kevlar too, though, so there's a chance here. As it smokes, it could potentially throw that down for the coffins, and he does. Okay, and Bubble just backs out into him, and position of Victor is known as well. But again, Victor is going to come out victorious in the clutch situation for Windigo. I'm not really sure what Bubble had going on for himself there. Just kind of backed his way out of coffins into certain death. But nonetheless, it's 3 rounds for Windigo. And again, with all these investments on the side of HellRaisers, they're not going to have a bye just yet.
Well, just pistols again for HellRaisers. This isn't the start they were hoping for on Inferno. And Poison, it's a good chance for him to get an early pick on the Oscar. He's got that easily towards middle. On the T side, keep the advantage. Windigo wanting to make sure they maintain this as well. 2 players on each bomb site for the CT side. 2 smokes available for HellRaisers, but that's all she wrote for them. As this hides behind the smoke, starts to spam on through it. I'll pull a player away off of it as this going back towards Archway. At this point, Windigo, they're just scared in case there's like some sort of stack or HellRaisers throw something at them, because they really do not want to lose the pistols. They've had their fair share of that today up against Nordavind.
Yeah, it's been a scary adventure so far, and they nearly ran into that issue twice already in this matchup. So, well, in this map, I should say. But yeah, better to do your due diligence. There is the stack over towards the B-bomb site, and all of Windigo for the time being is gathered up around Banana. There's only really Poison just looking for anyone to dart down mid potentially. There's only 1 Molotov as well, so they can't clear out the entirety of the bomb site. It might cause a bit of an issue, but looky here. Seems like they're aware. Fake comes in towards the B-bomb site, and that's going to leave them with a free A site to the taking once they make their way up quad. Molotov down for Pit. There's not going to be anyone there, but again, not going to leave anything to chance either. Down Banana we go from HellRaisers.
Well, Blocker, good headshot. Angel finished off. Blocker will get another, and LOL will find the P250 headshot onto Blocker itself. So, again, HellRaisers, it was a slow one. They only get the 1 kill. And when they go look to dispatch with the rest, there's not really a big reason for them to do this. If they lose one of these weapons, it's actually more detrimental to them. And there's a kill from LOL, nearly a follow-up, but Poison able to deal with him. Comes down to Issa to see what he can find. It's not much, but it's 4 in a row for Windigo.
Yep, and finally, for 6 rounds into it, we're going to be able to see the first buy round coming out of HellRaisers, or at least first proper buy round. LOL going to buy an op for Oscar. And underway we get going. A little bit of a replay action of Blocker's initial defense towards Banana. There we go. So 4-1 being the score as we see HellRaisers mount their first defense. And again, that duel between Poison and Oscar is going to be a big one for the matchup. Who comes out victorious of that one?
Well, there's a kill from Oscar. AWP does find the first kill, and the fact that it's managed that is certainly a good feat, as Nuki will get another. And that's kind of what you expect from HellRaisers. AWP and Oscar, it's going to get you frags. So he's looking for a little bit more. As LOL's burning inside of the Molotov, he will get 1 kill, but Poison will trade with his fire. As Blocker and Victor left alone in the 2v4. Much better when HellRaisers have got the weapons, but a bit of a miss from Oscar. You don't really see those too often. And Victor will stay inside of the A-bomb side, just trying to get the bomb plant, get some extra money for the team, and certainly his team will thank him for that. Can he get anything more than that? A kill coming through, and he's looking for the clutch. He can't quite get it done on the Oscar, but really good damage. Bomb plant coming in. Still, will be the round win for HellRaisers, but Victor should be happy enough for that.
Yeah, making the best out of a rough situation for them. Sadly, I guess, unluckily for him, he's not going to be able to down Oscar with that off. That would have been a nice little get. Pause comes in. And it's danger territory for HellRaisers, really. With taking 3 losses in that round, they're not going to be able to get the best of buy-ups, and also leaves their economy at a very shaky spot. Windigo, they want to get right back into it. Getting a bomb plant as well means that they're going to most likely reinvest into this. We've seen Victor buy up already, so assuming the rest of them are going to follow suit, even though Bubble is not sat on too much money.
Here are your odds. 1.78 for HellRaisers, 1.95 for Windigo. Incredibly close, but still favoring HellRaisers, and the odds brought to you by GG.Bet.
Yep. Name partner of the Chicago Invitational. We might see the 4th, and well, we will see who becomes the 4th and final semifinalist off of this matchup, but we might see it 1 map early. HellRaisers can close this out They did win the map pick of Windigo on Dust 2 with not too much of an issue either. Needs to go down banana. Ships takes a significant amount of damage. Still going to win out the duel versus Angel, but Nuki is luckily there to trade.
Well, spam coming in. Blocker is going to be the front man in the charge, and Nuki might just deal with him easily, and in fact he will. So advantage back towards HellRaisers.
A lot of damage being done as well. Nuki's going to fall, but look at the damage being done here. That's also a pretty significant gap. Oh, he's still going to miss out on the opportunity. Just needed one bullet to connect on Bubble, and he's going to get the bomb plant for it as well. Now, time at least working the way of Windigo. But HP still a pretty significant issue. Molotov on Issa as well. They are letting time tick rather quickly down here. They have defuse kits, but need to get rid of 3 players on the side of Windigo. Flash comes in, doesn't find anything, and I mean, you need to move. Okay, well, they're just not interested in winning the round. Okay, cool.
Yeah, super interesting. You know, it looked like HellRaisers actually were the team coming out on top early. They get the damage done in the bubble. He's 2 HP, trying to sprint into the bomb site.
Yeah, poisoned out to half HP.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened. But Windigo, they won't be complaining.
It was like a game of chicken. It's like, I'm not going first.
You go
like,
first.
Well, I'm not going first.
Yeah.
In the end, it just ends up being a miserably bad retake. Would have been so much better off. I mean, if you're going to be that passive, you might as well save. So I don't know what HellRaisers are doing right now. It's definitely not how you want to go about it. And Windigo, well, they're going to take that happily. 5 rounds early on here on the T side of Inferno. Looking to add another one to it.
Yeah, it's not the start I was expecting coming into Inferno from HellRaisers, especially after such a strong one on Dust 2. And this is the map pick we talk about HellRaisers being a good team on. So certainly not what I was expecting.
Might have had us fooled.
Yeah, this might just be pulling the wool over our eyes. But perhaps it's one of those things, you know, HellRaisers, better on land.
Yeah. Oscar, though, still able to find Bubble, and quite the return from Poison. Through the wall to make sure all things are even. Also prevents Oscar from picking up a weapon that can easily spiral out of control. Now with the wrap around Arch as well, it's looking like A is going to be the name of the game.
Well, 45 seconds. HellRaisers just biding the time, waiting for Windigo to come to them, and it will be the A bomb site. That's the final approach, and Law up towards the balcony also has the help of Oscar in below, but it's Ships, and the CZ not really great at that long range, so Ships will take the kill, and Ships has really been the whole reason Windigo have even stood a chance on Dust 2, and also stood a chance in the series overall, I have to say. So good job from Ships, certainly one of the better performers here in Windigo, and Poison's playing better, which is always something that's kind of hit and miss for some reason in this Invitational.
When it hits, though, it does quite a bit of impact. So far, Poison's sitting on 8 kills. Angels managed to sneak himself away with a Krieg. Not too shabby. Nicky's also gotten an AKs to his name, so they're going to be happy about holding on to this. Windigo doesn't seem too interested in running after them. I mean, yeah, they're winning rounds at a pretty fast tempo, Windigo, but they're not able to rack up a whole lot of money with how crazy these rounds do get.
There we go, Windigo 6-2. They are really starting to rack up the T side, and this many rounds on the T side of Inferno already. It's mainly actually been Victor who's been the front man here on Inferno for Windigo. 10-2 is the score on his scoreboard. And Issa and Oscar on 4 kills. So not exactly what you want from HellRaisers in terms of output on the CT side, but perhaps it can change. He's got a double up setup, Nuki and Oscar wielding those, AK-47 and LOL, Issa with the M4A4, and SG in the hands of Angel as well. And Windigo is going to be the AK-47s and the AWP of Poison. Nuki is going to be the player towards B. That's where he'll be posted with the AWP. He's actually taking damage. He's sticking around though. He just wants to kill before he has to fall away, and he wants to go back for more. Going for the spam through the half wall, but he's stuck around a little bit too long, and Ships will punish him for it.
Yet again, though, still a chance for HellRaisers to get on the board, but we'll see. Angel diving through the smoke, finds 2. That's a nice connection on Bubble there towards the end of it. She was just gonna get a return, but surely HellRaisers should be equipped to set up for a retake here.
Well, Victor does take away Oscar, 2v2. Victor goes for the fake plant, wanting them to come in towards him. Resmart comes in for the CT cross. Gonna go for the tap again, trying to bait them in towards him, and it will be Lol, he'll take the kill. It is all onto Victor, 1v2.
He's been winning out a fair few of
yeah,
these so far.
Certainly has, and he's topping the scoreboard for Windigo, wants to stay there, wants to try and get them to 7 rounds on the board. He's got a little bit of time to play with, but not a whole lot. The problem here is he's alone, so when you get the bomb planted or go for the commit, there's nowhere you can hide. So he's trying to pull it into the 1v1 fight, and there it is. Up against Lol, now into the 1v1 clutch as Victor going to use the small cover that he's got behind the fountain. He's faked this about 3 times. 10 seconds, got to go for it.
He's got to commit to it now. Was actually going to get the bomb plant down as well. Roll misses the timing, but corrects it nicely. And, well, even though it never really ends up being a retake, HellRaisers do end up getting the round. Yeah, don't want to run away from the bomb just yet. Lol. Also picks up the op for Oscar, so might be a turning point in the game for HellRaisers. Obviously, surviving with 1 player is not going to do them a whole lot of good in terms of building an economy, but picking up that op is a lot of money saved at the very least.
Well,
it's the second frag here from Angel as he just swings back. That is
Angel
a
is
difference maker.
Such a crazy player. He just goes through all the smokes and just forces every fight.
It's not really advisable to necessarily, if you're going to, I guess, shape your play style after a certain player, probably wouldn't pick Angel.
Probably device, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. It's just by the book. Players like Angel, Simple, they have a knack for doing things that don't necessarily work for most people. Now, banana control has been gained for HellRaisers. Oscar's actually going to miss out on the first duel. It goes down to 13 HP as well. More pressure being put on here. Issa. Drop down on the edge of the balcony. Gets flashed, but luckily Oscar's there. Doesn't matter how much HP he has. He follows that up. Is he going to continue to peek here? He gets really aggressive. Oh, even though Poison's waiting for him, not quick enough to punish the check. And just like that, Oscar has, well, very likely won the round for HellRaisers. On 13 HP at that.
Much better. That's what you want to see. 3 kills coming in from him, but Windigo are going to try and tuck up tail, run straight in towards the bomb side. Ships has got it. Angel completely blinded by it, and it's Nukia only with the 1 kill, so Bubble's going to get the bomb plant. This is into a 1v3, and it's winnable.
Yeah, low Oscar, low HP. If he can find one of them early, could have been something, but well, it's going to put an end to it. I'm curious to what Angel is doing in that position. Just jumps into the middle of the bomb site, completely blind. Well, still going to be around for HellRaisers, and they managed to keep 3 players alive, so finally they're going to feel some sort of stability. It's the, well, first rounds in succession that they've gotten all game. There we see Oscar just getting all the work done. Then you can tell Poison's waiting for it. Still not enough. We'll see if this is going to be the spurt that sends HellRaisers into a pretty decent CT half, or if Windigo have more in the bag. It's going to be Nico for them now, though. Oh, and they're running through it all.
Well, the nade from Angel is actually the piece of utility that collects the opening kill. Nukia able to find a follow-up, but 2 quick kills, they just give up B instantly on the peaks. Yeah. Bomb getting planted. Windigo, it's going to be 7-4 if they can manage to capitalize off of this, and this is not a type of round you expect them to win.
Well, they picked up at least one of the 2 weapons. Kind of retakes. Didn't look too promising for HellRaisers last time around. Now they have a lot more utility to work with, and they're going to use some of it. Time is starting to run low.
Yeah. And Lol is going for the stick and the defuse in the smoke, and oh, that's so unfortunate. Eventually gets picked off though, but
Not been
Very
impressed.
close.
Not been impressed by what HellRaisers are doing,
No.
either in the retakes on B or the initial B defense necessarily.
B has definitely been the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, if you're losing the B-bomb site over and over again, you're going to be losing rounds. So, HellRaisers certainly struggling here on the second map, and that's not what many would have expected coming into this.
Yeah, that I would definitely be chalked up as one of the ones who thought HellRaisers would have a much easier time of it. They do have enough money to buy an AWP on Oscar, and they can get Rifle on Angel and Issa too. And I've seen HellRaisers buy up in worse economic positions than this. So it remains to be seen what they do with it. Windigo have to be feeling supremely confident about how this is going. 7 rounds on the T side of Inferno so early on. And they're giving so many, I guess, extra chances from HellRaisers as well. Keep in mind, HellRaisers force spot the 2 first rounds here in this matchup as well to give Windigo an early lead after losing the first anti-eco. And it's actually just going to be half investment from HellRaisers. Surprising amount of restraint being shown. Might be for the better long term, though. They've had their struggles, so they might need all the utility, all the fixings to be able to withstand the pressure that Windigo's putting on them right now.
If you're HellRaisers right now, then you should start to feel a little bit more pressure because, yeah, you had an excellent start on Dust 2. Everything was going well. Then it started to fall apart. Windigo looked pretty solid. You finally closed it out. But here in Inferno, it's been a terrible start. And the fact is, it's not done yet. There's another map after this. And if Windigo managed to scrape a win here in Inferno, or even get it under their belt, and they manage to get a win on the next map, which is a map they're pretty good at, Mirage, then certainly HellRaisers might be eliminated. So they have to try and change their tune here and try and come back into this, because at the minute it's Windigo dominating the field. As Poison wants to go for the early pick towards top banana. He gets an opportunity but cannot quite capitalize. Takes a grenade in the face, so good nade usage. An advantage there for Windigo. Poison tries to boost over the half wall, but a little bit more pressure being put on from HellRaisers this time. 3 players on the other end of it.
Yeah, probably didn't expect to see that many people. Locker's going to find Nuki, though, and here comes in. Angel finds 2, actually. Pretty impressive job from him with the 5-7. But the remainder of the Windigo side, they've moved up towards A. They still have to deal with Lowell, though. He's in a position to get the drop on at least 1 out of these 2 Windigo players. We'll see if the bomb goes down on the default plant. It's not going to do so, so a little bit more difficult. And Victor's going to make sure everyone stays safe. Now then, Angel with a saved AK. Picked up AK, hasn't really saved it yet. Just decide to bail out on this entire situation. Actually just walks back towards Library. They will have a buy in the next round, so that's most likely why he's standing this aggressively, seeing if he can find any sort of pickups. Again, you'd imagine that Windigo had a better economy than what they currently do, given the amount of rounds they have, but really has been labored.
Windigo already win the half.
Yeah.
It's not exactly what you expect even on pretty much any team, right? They're winning the T side of Inferno. And this could be pretty one-sided if they manage to close this half in the way that they're currently showing. Could be 11-4 at best for Windigo. 8-7 at best for HellRaisers, and they do have an opportunity to pull that one right back. They have got the weapons, AWP in the hands of Oscar. Back to the rifles for the rest of the team, but it's got to be more successful. That B-bomb site can't fall as easily. And if it does fall, they've got to retake it better.
Oh, definitely so. Well, they actually need to give it an attempt, right? Give it the good old college try. Poison has rarely been more flashed and still going to get away with a kill. There you go. He's also going to find Angel as well, and luckily for HellRaisers, Lowell's there to find some sort of restraint. Oscar, okay.
He's done with this.
He's done. He's had enough. Lowell wants to go back for more, finds a second. That's a big one at that. So, well, the two Windigo players very spread apart. I think Oscar believes that both of them are committed to this bomb site. It's not the case. This is only ships, and he might just run straight into Oscar. And leg shot!
Oh, that's definitely just going to be a headbutt to your monitor.
Oh, yeah, that's rough to see. 4 HP on ships. He's going to be real happy about that. Now the question is, where do they commit to on the side of Windigo? Issa seems to believe that it's going to be the A bomb site. And is he going to get faked by that smoke? Oh, he's thinking about it.
Oh, well.
Now he knows. I think he's heard people stepping in top mid.
That could have been very brutal, but he goes back over towards the A bomb site, wants to take the fight. Doesn't even matter. Same outcome, 9-4. This is unbelievable. After what we've seen on Dust 2, if you put anybody, even if somebody doesn't understand Counter-Strike, you show them what just happened on Dust 2, you tell them that's the map they shouldn't have won.
Yeah.
HellRaisers, or the one that they're less favored to win. Show them Inferno, this is one they're really good at, and they're playing this bad. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, it is weird because when you look at, the setups that are, how weak this B bomb site have been, just straight up, it's been pretty damn bad. There's no real getting around it. Yeah, it's hard to explain what it is and what it comes down to. Lowell's going to find an early pick into mid with the aggression, but Banana's been shut down completely. Okay, Lowell wants to do whatever he can to keep them in this, finds 3 kills to his name, but Oscar's still left in a not that favorable of a position. And he's going to go down as well. Victor's just been rocking out. 20 kills so far in this half.
I think that's the big turnaround for Windigo, is that their individuals are showing up.
Yeah, Victor had something like, I want to say 3 frags for the longest of time on Dust 2 as well. He never really got into it. On Inferno, it's been a completely different story. He's been a part of every single clutch moment, it feels like, for Windigo, and he's won out more or less all of them. Barring one versus Lowell, so I guess, yeah, gets a bit of a knife in the back as a thank you for that. 30 HP gone on him.
Well, this could be 11-4 from the T side. Windigo love to get that HellRaisers. They kind of have no other option. They have to find 5.
Yeah, I mean,
they love this aggression, and it hasn't worked too often. Well, it's working this time for Angel, but...
And he's going to continue to go forward. Okay, that's a bit of a fortunate gun drop to go in front of the smoke. Immediately knows that Chips is there.
Well, 2 for 1 at least.
That's the best they've done in God knows how long.
And it's risky as well. It could have went both
0
ways.
for,
yeah,
it could go to 0 for 1 very quickly there. Especially because Angel just jumps out all by his lonesome. There's no backup. There's no option for a trade.
He's blind as well.
Yeah. And continues to go forward as well. So he could have very easily given up the initial advantage he gets this team.
Weird.
Just all, altogether a very strange CT side coming out from HellRaisers. So Lowell is one of the guys who continues to perform, but Bubble, all right. Had a bit of a more quiet game so far for him, but he's netted 3 already. And Victor's still alive, and that seems to be a pretty good spot to be in if you're Windigo.
It seems as though even when HellRaisers something goes well for them, it just still crumbles. But Oscar at least will try and step up. But Bubble, he's going to go for the ace clutch. It's a 1v2 ace clutch. It has to happen. He heads towards the back of the bomb site. Last player is Issa, and he's towards Banana. Bubble's just hiding on the back of the bomb site. Molotov goes in, and there's the one tap. Finishes off the job. The ace clutch from Bubble. He dies to the Molotov, but it's 11-4.
Yeah, you don't really care about that at that stage. Man, okay, so a bit of a throwback here from the 2 veterans on this side. When Victor can't get the job done, Bubble's there to get the ace. And
did nothing for a long time.
Yeah, HellRaisers start that off with a 2-man advantage. Well, I guess, you can't really call it a 2-man advantage, but at least a 4v3, because Angel dies immediately after getting the second. But they have... Yeah, they have everything set for them to be successful, but they keep messing it up, and this is looking more and more likely like we're going to a third. I thought this would be 2-0 once we got into Inferno, but the odds as well are not really agreeing with that. Windigo now heavily favored at 1.15. GG.Bet putting HellRaisers at 4.91 to bring it all back here on
Even worse
Inferno.
now.
Yeah.
5.28 for the odds on GG.Bet, but it is going to be Oscar with a headshot. That'll set off the pistol well, at least for HellRaisers. Nuke is barely alive. 1 health point to his name.
Shivs going to move out. Not able to find the conversion, though. Flash didn't really do anything to deal with Oscar, and I guess he's just had enough at this stage. Just trying to figure out, like, how could it be so easy for the T-sides to constantly go up Banana? Oh, I guess he's got his answer. Poison finds Nuki. He was on 1 HP. Victor continues his good form here with a kill onto Issa, but 1v3 situation, and actually does find Lowell, but yeah, position a little bit too strong, and Lowell corrects it.
All right, step one of a very long process back into this. HellRaisers get themselves the pistol win on the T side.
And now we're going to see if they can do something they haven't been too great at, which is dealing with anti-ecos. Oscar learning how things can be so easy if you just go banana, apparently. It's been a bit of a 7-11 ordeal. It's just open at all hours, more or less. Tag comes in onto Oscar. Not a clean hit, though, from Poison, but still enough to get him down if he were to get another tag. Actually, well, he does go in for more, but Oscar's going to get the better of him.
Well, HellRaisers, he's got that advantage to work with. And it's so important that they don't lose this. We've seen so many teams just lose these kind of rounds, and it's so frustrating to watch. We've seen a lot of those earlier from Windigo. Let's see if Bubble can fall his way back towards Archway. Shot coming in. It's going to land onto Bubble. And he's going to be forced back inside of Archway. He'll start to rattle shots through, but it's actually Victor who's taking the brunt of the damage, as the Angel will finish him off. And it should look to be 11-6 here, as HellRaisers want to make it happen. I think to this point, probably just a safe call for Windigo. They're all the way over towards the B-bomb site, trying to carry over the Scout, the Kevlar, the 2 Deagles, and the 2 Smokes. So HellRaisers, they have other ideas. They want to hunt them.
And hunt they will. Bubble still rocking out with that Scout. This isn't going to go down. They don't get to turn on ships either, and well, all of a sudden, HellRaisers players are starting to fall apart. Well. So there we are. 3 players down from HellRaisers in an attempt to hunt down Windigo. And I mean, they've just kind of kitted them out a little bit better going into the next one. It was Mac-10s to go down predominantly, so it's not the biggest economical loss, I guess, for HellRaisers. And you don't really stand too much to gain on the side of Windigo. But we've seen things happen. Rounds can get pretty crazy. You can get a Mac-10 into a good position and potentially punish people who are not, well, prepared, potentially flashed. So Windigo, they don't have to make much of an investment here to still put up a pretty decent, decent squad or decent lineup of firepower. HellRaisers again, pretty heavy on the Mac-10s.
Well, this goes up towards the apartments. Lowell is there with the Mac-10 as well. And HellRaisers, you know, the couple of weapons have been tossed on over to Windigo to play with, so it's not too dissimilar to the buy of HellRaisers. It's slightly bolstered by the AKs and tad more utility, but this buy from Windigo certainly poses a threat, and HellRaisers are going to have to respect it, but they need to be careful not to respect it too much. And luckily for HellRaisers, they seem to be wanting to go towards B, and that's where no one is playing on Windigo. They fully rotated over towards the A-bomb site. All 5 players are there. They go, no, this is where HellRaisers literally just have the B-bomb site for free. Oscar doesn't even care, though. He'll dispatch for everyone on the A-bomb site. 3 kills going his way. Lowell will take away ships, and you know the last player is on the A-bomb site, so that's when the bomb runs up towards Banana, but it doesn't even matter because HellRaisers got all the kills, and it's 11-7. So Windigo, Poison doesn't have a whole lot, but the rest of the team do. So we'll give them a weapon. There's an AWP to play with, and the rest can get the buy-in. So this is the first sort of challenge, the first hurdle, but this is Oscar dealing with that A defense so easily.
Yeah. One by one, winning out that round single-handedly, as he did a couple of times on the CT side as well. Very few rounds HellRaisers were able to win. Poison going to get very aggressive here into second mid, and that's Lowell down. He's been one of the stronger performers on the side of HellRaisers so far in this game. Bubble misses out on an opportunity, and again, it's going to be Oscar to wreak havoc. Luckily gets the trade, though, so numbers advantage for the Bulgarian team. Blocker sits on a nade. HP might not be in a prime spot for them. A bit of a bait smoke there, as they do have one player set up on sandbags. Blocker's just going to utilize this as well to potentially get a quick frag and then just vanishing through the darkness, and he does so as well. Very nicely played, and yeah, there's no way they're going to expect Ships to stay in that position. Blocker comes out once they've dealt with Ships. And the 12th round is on the board for Windigo, so they bring it right back.
They do indeed, and Windigo, they are 4 away from taking Inferno, from 4 away from heading to Mirage to decide a matchup of this best of 3, and it seems to be when we get to these lit stages of the group stages, it seems to go all the maps, all the rounds as well. We had quite a few overtimes yesterday. Luckily today we haven't had an overtime, so that's kept us close to the schedule, not quite on it. With Poison taking a peek down towards the bottom of Banana. Flash will go in and stop Angel from getting aggressive. We know he loves to do it, and here he goes. Kill comes in for Poison though. That's Nukia hitting the deck. Oh no, Ship's under a lot of pressure. The Molotovs somehow don't spread to him. Literally must be the only pixel that's not getting burnt run on that corner of Banana, but Lawmesser will take 2 kills. Spray coming in for Victor. He's looking for a frag, and there it is. He's got a little bit of control to play with. He wants to take another fight, and Victor is stepping up for Windigo. Oscar will get the kill back in, but it's all on Oscar. 12 HP to make a 1v3 happen. He's got the first. Now it's into the 1v2.
12 HP. Luckily for him, Ships is an AWP, so that could potentially swing back in it, and he also has a Molotov. Does he get the lineup through the smoke? He's going to wait for any sort of sound cue. Hasn't heard it yet, so he's going to chill out for a little bit. Yeah, it's only a kid on Poison.
He doesn't want to give away his position just yet, so as soon as he hears the tap, he'll have to go for it, but they're looking right at him. One bullet does it as well. There it is. Molotov goes in. Does it land? Yes, it does.
They're going to have to dive in on this while it's still up.
There they go. Poison. He's going to go for it. Oh, he survives. 12 HP. Valiant attempt from Oscar.
Cold.
Literally the last second as well.
Yeah, one more tick and Poison goes down. And Ships definitely didn't have the HP to do that. It didn't even have a kit. So, yeah, Oscar nearly grabbing that back. Might look like a bit of a crazy attempt to swing out in that fashion, but yeah. Probably the best way he had of winning that as well. There we go. Windigo, yet again, winning another round. They're going to set at 13. So, I guess the trend from the day before of stealing each other's map picks is well and truly alive. Angel flashed up through mid. Gash just bubbled by surprise, but Poison at least is there for the time being until Nuki finds a response. All of a sudden, things have really just snowballed out of control here.
I really do feel like the scoreline's not looking too great for HellRaisers, but I still feel like there's a chance for them coming back into this. They should be able to dig deep enough to have that opportunity, but it's still so close to Windigo taking this.
Yeah, I mean, the issue for HellRaisers right now is that, well, I guess the good thing and the bad thing is that they've gotten 7 rounds looking outright terrible on their own map pick, but they've gotten 7 rounds looking pretty bad. So if they're actually able to, yeah, go anywhere near what they were doing on Dust 2, then yeah, that should net them quite a few rounds in a row, because it's been fairly close rounds as well, at least for the first half. It's a lot of back and forth, a lot of crazy rounds edging out in the favor of Windigo. Obviously, we talked about how Victor had been a part of so many clutches, but they kind of need to turn that up. Issa, who we saw being a vital part of their strong start to Dust 2, he's been more or less invisible here on Inferno. And even though Lowell's been playing pretty well, he's kind of have to be in a position where he constantly comes in to find you know, a killer to just equalize what's like the deficit that HellRaisers have been working on, because you know the initial defense towards B was never really good enough, that kind of thing. So even though he's getting kills, it doesn't really have the big impact in the end of it. And then you add into the pretty terrible retakes that we saw out of HellRaisers as well. It doesn't really add up to it to be a good Inferno game just altogether. But we have a bit of a pause initially. It's been down. But what you guys can do at home as we wait for the free stream to get going is head over to csgo.net and use code Chicago. And if you do that, you can get 30% more of your balance to your deposit and get the chance to win some cool skins.
Indeed. Well, here's the AKs for HellRaisers again. It's going to be a little bit of a mix and match buy from Windigo. They have got an MP9 available on Bubble, but the rest, there's 2 rifles, 3 rifles actually, and Victor's on a Deagle. So, yeah, very mix and match here on the CT side. Certainly can pose a threat, though. HellRaisers, they have Oscar on the AWP. I would love to see him do a little bit more. He has been relatively quiet by his standards. Even though he's had some big runs, still being pretty quiet.
Yeah, I feel like everything just fell apart over towards that B bomb site before he really could do anything over towards A on the CT side. And a couple of times they went towards there. I mean, he had 1 round with 3K that more or less secured it, but yeah, we want to see more.
Well, Nukia will take the headshot onto Victor. Poison and Bubble will line up a few, and it's the MP9 onto Nukia. Ships will take away Angel. It's all on Oscar. A 1 versus 4. Well, this would be the time to step up and show us a lot. And there's the headshot back in towards middle onto the head of Ships. The bomb lies on the balcony. And that might just be a factor you'll have to think about as the Molotov goes in towards Pit. He looks at the close angle, completely blinded, and that's as awkward as it gets. Just kind of stopped in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I think he realized the second that flash comes, he's like, I'm not surviving this.
He just gotta give up. He takes his hand off the mouse.
Did what you could with that 1 frag onto Ships down in bottom of mid, but it does put Windigo on 14th round. Just the crossfires being really strong. Bubble of getting maximum out of that MP9 at range.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It was such a weak buy from Windigo, and they may still make it happen.
Yeah. And they do, and this time it's going to look a whole lot better. Just 1 MP9 to go out with this time, and decent amount of utility too.
So it does look like, at this moment in time, we will be heading to a 3rd map in the series, which is kind of crazy, considering the start that we just seen on HellRaisers on Dust 2.
Very unexpected.
But, you know, we do say strange things can happen in CS, and it's going to be Issa take it away. Bubble, Poison with 1. Angel back in the CZ. The pistol's still potent, but it's a 3v3. Poison, he's had impact on this map. That's something he's been a little bit quiet across other series for Windigo in this tournament, but this has been a great one for him. 2 kills coming in.
Bomb is going to go down, though, so at least that gives HellRaisers a little bit of extra money to play with, regardless of what happens in this round. And this has a strong position. The one thing it doesn't have is HP. Timing seemingly being everything, and Ships is going to find Lowell looking at the wrong place at the wrong time. This Poison gets Issa through the wall. So, map point for Windigo. In a prime position to close out HellRaisers map pick, and a decider of Mirage is looking more and more likely.
It's not the only time we've seen Windigo play Mirage. Earlier they played against Nordavind and it was super scrappy, but they've looked much better against the likes of HellRaisers.
Yeah, and I mean, the last time we got to see HellRaisers on Mirage itself, it wasn't too pretty. It's a 16-7 loss versus Force.
So it's just kind of, at this point, who's worse is the competition on Mirage then?
Yeah, and I guess HellRaisers have them beat with the way they're playing on Inferno. Then again, we didn't see the greatest of games from Windigo on Dust 2 either, but I will say that was more down to HellRaisers being very, very solid. Much more so than what we expected. And right now, Windigo are playing very well.
There we go. Knife kill from Law. At least a little bit of a consolation. Frying. He's got an AWP into a 1v3.
Yeah, Knife might be the highlight of the game for him. You can hear things being typed out in chat, and I think that's GG's. They don't really believe. Bombs drop down in pit. There's already been 1 CT to make it through there. Victor's got to go down, but from top mid comes Bubble. Ends the game with 17 frags to his name and a 16th round on the board for Windigo. So solid display from them. Victor really, just rolling it back, even though he didn't have the same kind of impact or, you know, as big of a second half as he did the first. He laid a lot of the groundwork really for Windigo in that one.
That is super surprising. Windigo winning on Inferno 16-8. They don't even let HellRaisers get double figures.
No, and I was expecting this to be more of a role reversal kind of a thing. I thought it would be HellRaisers closing out Windigo without too much of an issue, but there you have it. And you've said it throughout the entire Invitational where we've seen Windigo. very hit and miss team, right? You can have something
Yeah.
very solid coming out of them, or you can have something very lackluster. HellRaisers, I guess, can be put in that same kind of category, and this was one of the very flat and lackluster performances out of them.
Yeah, Windigo can sometimes beat some of the best teams in the world. We've seen them beat MIBR, WSG. They win LAN events, but sometimes can't get it done. But certainly looks like they're the good team at the minute, the good form of them. Hopefully that continues as we move into the third map of the series, which will be coming up just shortly after this break. So make sure you join us then.